Alrighty, guys. Hopefully you can hear me okay, but we are live. Want to welcome everybody back to the Sleuth Intuition channel. I'm your host, Patrick Vallejos, coming to you live, broadcasting to the world from Phoenix, Arizona. Sorry I haven't been busy, guys. They've been messing with my internet and even with our power, they're doing some construction up the street. So my power went out twice today, yesterday, and I was going to do a sleuth crew check-in with you guys yesterday, but I couldn't export my video and download it because it kept getting interrupted. My computer kept getting shut off. But if anybody wants to call in, the link is right there. Hit that link, and that's offer is extended to anybody, whoever you are out there. If you'd like to call in, today we're going to talk about Richard Allen specifically. All things Richard Allen. The photos I want to focus in on are the ones right at the end of 2016. These are the photos we can see Richard Allen wearing what appears to be the blue coat. This is him outside the very same day. Also, notice the goatee. Makes you think of the older sketch. So look at this photo here. Maybe I'll keep this one up and then I'll pull up another one. Some of my image analysis. See that? There's Ricky. He's got a pretty stupid look on his face, too. Good to see you, Hiawatha. Red Queen, Metal Mama, Kiwi. Another Phoenician. D, good to see you, Ziggy. Misty. How you been, Hiawatha? Daily Survivor, Patricia. Yeah, what's that all about? Good to see you, Jamie. No, I'm gonna put them on this channel. I can't. I haven't had a chance to export it. What's up, Nana? But I'm working on it, and then I'm gonna post a video to members only. It's gonna have some music on it. I've attempted it It's like a 2-hour process. So first you got to let everything render, and that could take 20 minutes, 20, 30 minutes. And then you have to export it. So if you're doing like a high quality video, like 4K, it's going to take a while just to export it. And then once you export it, then you have to download it. Each process taking like an hour. If you have a short video, it just takes, 5-10 minutes. But when you have 2 hours worth of footage, at least my program anyway, it takes forever. I need a new system. Good to see you, Nana. Yeah, he has this look in his eye. He almost has a black eye here. Not quite sure, but it looks like it. It could be Kathy's phone in the reflection right here. I think I see her finger, maybe? Oh, no. This is the phone right here. So, yeah, he might have a black eye. Or bags under his eye. Yeah, we didn't get any storms here. So I don't know what the hell's going on. The only thing I can think of is we have extreme heat. It's like 102. It was 102 yesterday and like 101 or 100 today. Hey, what's up, Rescue? Good to see you. Cynthia, do you think he could be wearing that beanie hat on the bridge? I think he could, but I don't think he is. I think he's actually wearing the Route 66 hat. But I can't be sure. But I'm pretty sure he is no, I'm convinced he's wearing the Route 66 hat. And I can show you a few reasons why. We'll see if we can see anything here. So if you look up close, you can kind of see there's an emblem here. That's not a very good shot of it, but wow, this one's a little better. You see it? And in one of the captures I did, some of the work I did on it, you can actually see a 6. Like I said, it could be pareidolia. So what I did was, the only reason I'm convinced, it's in multiple frames. I say if you can find something that is consistently like within 3 to 4 frames in a row, to me, I believe it's there. You can kind of see it here. I know there's a couple that are much better. I haven't spent much time in this folder recently anyway. This one's a good one. You can kind of see the sunglasses. And then there's the emblem again. Kind of looks like a highway sign almost. I used to think it was a snake's head. Oh, so you can kind of see the 6. Kind of see the 60s. Or the 66, sorry. And then you can kind of see the outline, how it kind of makes the highway sign. But there are some of these captures that look like he could be wearing that beanie. Like I said, it could be something, but this is the only thing I've had consistently in 3 frames. Is this little emblem here, Route 66. Let me see if I can pull up the original hat, him wearing the hat. See, this is a really good photo right here because I think this is how he's wearing it. Um, no, that one has Kathy in it. We don't need to put her on her. Here, we'll pick this one. So this is exactly how I, after all the work I've done, this is what I think is going on. Right here. But the glasses might be white. Now, before they arrested Richard Allen, the emblem I was looking for was a snake's head. Now you can see why, right? See, I was looking for the head of a snake. See the nose, the eyes, and then the long mouth, almost like a copperhead or a rattlesnake or something with a big jaw, or a cobra or something. So that's another reason why what I was really seeing was this. So let's minimize that. Let me fix this. So I believe that's what we're seeing here. You can see the Route 66. But it kind of looks like a snake's head, right? What's up, farmer? But that's the reason I believe that. But he could be wearing that beanie hat. I've done some comparisons and it seems to match up right there. But it also could be the brim of a hat. But yeah, he looks like he has a black eye. Never noticed that before. What's up, H. Nixon? Looks like his right eye is black. Yeah, right here. He's got a black eye, and it's looks a little bit swollen. He's got a goatee. I wonder what happened. And then this was, I believe, around Thanksgiving of 2016. Look at the bunched up pants. I think I have the video. Hold on. See if we can get a good look at his pants. Yeah, look at that. Look at him all bunched up right here. Identical. You bought the bottle of beer at 11:30. Yeah, yeah, yeah. We bought the bottle of beer at 11:30. Yeah, yeah. There was people coming in when we were going out. Okay. So you bought the bottle of beer at 12 o'clock. Yeah, 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 yeah. We definitely bought the bottle of beer at 12 o'clock. Well, you see what you did there? You know you done fucked up, right? You see what you did, right? Who knows that movie? It's crazy too, because it looks like he has a big ass knife in his hand. See that? Blue jacket and a knife. Bunched up pants. 2 months before the girls are killed. What the hell is that? Kind of looks like a bird. There was like a loud bang, and then they went outside and they're looking at this. So I'm wondering if a bird hit the window, but you can also see what appears to be a leather something or other. Yeah, he has a creepy stare in that video. He looks really annoyed. What's up, Robin? Daily Survivor, Piper, Mustang. Good to see you, Misty. Crushin', what up? What's going on, V? I can't imagine the work you have to do to put a video out. Well, it depends on how long it is. Once you start getting into like an hour, it starts becoming a pain in the ass. What's up, Rescue? Camaro, what's up? Did Kathy hit him? That's the first thing I was thinking. Like, did he get in a fight with his wife? What happened? It's weird to see him like all bruised up, and then 2 months later, he's accused of killing Abby and Libby. Maybe he was going through it. He could have been up to something, and nobody even be the wiser, including his family. But I don't know if this is a bird or not. For all I know, this is one of the trophies, and that's why he's not touching it. He's like, this is the thing under Bridge Guy's face. I don't know. Does that look like a bird to you guys? Tune in next time. Okay, and then you also have Oops, sorry. Let's take another look at that eye. That goatee, though. I can't be sure. Right there, it changes. And that appears to be the clearest view. Yeah, I think what we're seeing is a reflection from Kathy onto this area right here. I don't think he has a black eye. Debunked. Oh yeah, see, it looks like it might even be this dark area of her camera. See, but once it's off, there doesn't seem to be anything there. That look. He's like shaking his head too, huh? But why does he close? It's just a crossword puzzle. Why does he close it so fast? Hey, what's up, CJK? Who'd I miss? Oh, Cheeks. What's up? Melissa, the wild card. And Julia, I almost made your Mr. Burns today, but I didn't get to it. I'm sorry. I don't know what's better, release the hounds or excellent. I kind of like them both. She Warrior, what's up? Yeah, I mean, it looks a lot like him. That is for sure. Yeah, I'm not really, maybe a, I can't tell right there. I'm going to say negative on that one. I think we're seeing something that's reflecting off of Kathy. What's up, sees through? So the way I see it is they're going to prove that Richard Allen was the bridge guy. I think they're going to do it fairly quickly. Now, the only way to really argue that is to show his alibi. Why haven't we heard anything about his alibi? With Koberger, that was the first thing he tried to establish. The goatee. Same day. The Route 66 hat. I wonder where he got it. Hey, what's up, Christine? What's up, Brad? Nixon, I bought a Route 66 hat in Arizona several years ago. Not sure I can ever look at it the same. Yeah, farmer. It's all I could think about when I was out there looking for Chelsea Grim. Everything was like everywhere you went there was a gift shop and it was all Route 66 stuff. Couldn't help think like, man, I wonder if Richard Allen came right through here. Hey, what's up, Brown Skittle? I see the painter's cap with a small lip, but maybe had a beanie on underneath. I don't know. I think we may have debunked it. I'm going to call that one debunked. Hey, what's up, Olivia? So I haven't seen any issues with the timeline. Abby and Libby showed up right at what 1:45, right? Yeah, who's to say he wasn't already sitting at that bench? Followed Betsy Blair out after she saw him on the bridge. She turns around like, "Well, I can't go on the bridge. There's this creepy guy out there. I'm going to walk to the Freedom Bridge and then back to my car." She starts walking back to Freedom Bridge because there's no way she just parked her car, walked from her car to the bridge. That doesn't make any sense. So to me, she went all the way to the bridge, all the way to Freedom Bridge, and then back to her car. And then I think she saw Abby and Libby when she was coming back or when she was walking towards the Freedom Bridge. So what I think may have happened, he's standing on the bridge. Here comes Betsy Blair. Betsy Blair sees him. He's smoking a cigarette, probably has his mouth covering off and the hood on his head down. He sees her. She's like, well, I'm not going to spend much time here alone with this man. I'm going to get going. Starts walking towards Freedom Bridge, passes Abby and Libby. But Richard Allen has already either completely crossed the bridge to the south side or has now gotten off the bridge and is somewhat behind Betsy Blair walking towards Freedom Bridge or towards the Mears lot while Abby and Libby are coming directly to them. Oh, we have a caller. Hold on one moment. Let's bring on Julia Burns. Oh, Julia. Well, I lost her. Maybe she'll call back. But that's what I think happened. I think he may have followed Betsy as she turned and went to go complete her walk. She passes the girls. The girls pass Richard Allen, maybe somewhere near the bench or between the bench and the bridge. And maybe words were exchanged. So maybe something triggered him there. I'm not quite sure. He may have gone to the bridge looking for trouble with the multiple layers backing in the vehicle. I think this is one of those situations. Only Richard Allen is going to be able to explain that unless they can uncover it or they already know and it hasn't been disclosed to the public yet. Daily Survivor. A lot of guys look like Bridge Guy, but Richard Allen is a match and the only one with bunched up pants. I mean, that's how he wears his pants. That's how us short guys wear pants. You know, try finding a 34-30. It's hard. It's always like a 32 or something. Hey Anna, good to see you. Welcome in, Lala. Nancy. Richard, my opinion, this is from Nancy. Um, Richard Allen is definitely the bridge guy, but I think there was more than one perp. I think it's possible. I think the motive was a crime for profit. Miller, or yeah, that's pretty close. Miller, that's some creepy shit, or whatever his name is, and Keegan Kline, same category. Well, Miller, I don't know if he did anything for profit. What he did was he would manipulate people. He would catfish them, gain their trust, and then make them harm their own family. That's how he started off. He catfished this young lady in I don't want to say Anchorage, but I know it was Alaska. Convinced her that he was some rich old man who was going to take her away, but the old man just happened to be into CSAM, and he convinced her to assault her 3-year-old sister, and she filmed it and she would live stream it to Shill Miller. And then eventually, I don't know, there's a lot of similarities between what happened with Shill Miller and with Delphi. Like Richard Allen could have easily have been convinced to go do something like that if he thought he was going to get paid for it, right? So maybe he was catfished into committing a murder. Because like Shill Miller, the woman that he convinced to abuse her own sibling, he later convinced to kill her best friend, and she recruited 2 other men to do it. And while they were murdering this young lady, they told her that they were making a film. We're going to make a school project, and we need another actress. So we're going to duct tape you now. This is part of the scene. And then once she was duct taped, they murdered her on film. And Shill Miller was on the phone, and I believe he may have even been on a some kind of app, like a Yubo app or something very similar, maybe Snapchat. I'm not sure, but it was being live streamed to him, and he was also on the phone with the woman that he had been catfishing, giving her instructions. I mean, it's one of the darkest cases I've ever heard of, and nobody talks about it. Only a couple people have ever even brought it up. And he did it from his basement on a computer. See, people don't need to be capable of anything. They just need to be, the only thing they need to be capable of is manipulating somebody who is in a position to do their bidding. If you're in a position to accomplish what I need done, all I have to do is manipulate you. And now you're like a robot or a puppet. Yeah, I don't know what happened to Julia. She definitely had a good backdrop. Lala, not sure what it is, but he probably killed it. Like, what was that loud noise? I think I have the other video. I think I have the full video. Hold on. Because I always thought maybe it was like a champagne bottle, maybe.
You need to stop. You need to stop. I need to stop. But you know what? I'm not going to.
I'm not going to.
Really long day. Oh, God.
See, what the hell was that? Hold on, let me run that back.
It's a really long day. Oh, God.
Like, what the hell was that? Miss Dog Lover, welcome on.
Hey, how are you?
Good. How are you doing?
Yeah, good, thank you. Yeah, I've not really been in the loop on things so much recently. Just been
Yeah,
really
I've been staying out of
quiet.
things. I
Yeah,
mean, it's all just pre-trial BS really right now.
yeah. I do think personally, from what I've seen, that I think Richard Allen is BG.
I'm convinced, but I'm extremely biased. I do admit that.
Yeah, just from the evidence that I've seen.
Mhm.
So the trial is October, is that right?
October 15th, I believe, somewhere around there.
Okay. And I think we've got Brian Koberger October as well, is that right?
I'm not sure. I haven't been keeping up with that, but I know that I'm actually going to be diving back into that case here pretty soon, and I think that's why um, Burns was calling in. I think she might be out there near the crime scene, Idaho.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's like everything's just combining at the same time. Yeah. But thanks for all the work that you're doing.
No, I appreciate that. I think it's going to be just as simple as we think it's going to be. We've made this case difficult, and the defense team is just kind of feeding into it. But you're probably not paying attention to it because you probably realized that during the first delay of the trial. I'm
Yeah,
assuming.
yeah, exactly.
Yep, that's when I backed off. I was like, okay, this is all going to be a pre-trial circus, and really don't need to pay attention to any of it.
No, exactly. It's just it's just too complex for me.
Yeah, it's a lot of lawyer games.
Yeah, I just want it to get to trial. I want a fair trial because I don't want him to get off. I just don't. I don't want him to be able to plead that he hasn't had a fair trial. Basically, I want justice for Abby and Libby. So, yeah.
Yeah, and justice for Richard Allen is justice for Abby and Libby. So whatever happens with him, whether he's let go or convicted, that's justice. You know, even if it's
Yeah.
just a delay and they need to bring him back, we got to go through that process.
Yeah, exactly.
What do you think is going to be the hardest part in convicting somebody like Richard Allen, or do you think it's a slam dunk?
I don't know. I mean, I haven't heard his voice actually. I think you've probably posted it on one of your other videos. But the voice comparison for me is quite interesting. So
Mm-hmm.
if you've got that somewhere, that would
Yeah,
be
I have it.
interesting.
I have it handy. I do have a comparison with him. It's pretty
Yeah,
close. It's pretty close.
yeah. From what I've heard, from the video where he was on the what was it, the I don't know what it was, but basically it seemed quite similar.
The snow lift one?
Yes, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I have that. Let's listen to it. Let me know if you can hear it.
Rick.
Did you hear that?
Yeah.
Okay, let me rewind it.
Rick.
Cable snap. There's the wheelchair coming up.
Guys. Down there. Rick. Guys. Rick. Guys. Rick. Guys. Rick. Guys. Down there.
Cable snap. There's the wheelchair coming up.
Yeah, it's pretty close.
That sounds very similar. Yeah.
Very similar. His look. I think there was another photo I wanted to show you guys. Maybe I have it handy here. Well, maybe I think I lost it. Sorry, guys. But it's basically showing you the position where Libby must have been filming from. She was way off of the bridge, already back and down about a foot. So it makes him look taller, but really it's a shorter man. If she's down a foot, he's definitely not as tall as he appears. He's much shorter than that. If that makes sense. And what about the original sketch, Miss Doglover?
The original sketch.
Yeah, this is one that was provided, I think, around 2018. So this was an original sketch, and I think somebody added this to it right here, this face covering.
What about the Justin Timberlake sketch?
Oh, the young guy?
Yeah. Looks like Justin Timberlake from the 90s to me.
I don't know. I think Richard Allen can kind of look that way. And remember, the person who's giving that description, she's just trying to remember. She's trying to recollect, you know?
Yeah. I mean, anyone can look differently in different pictures. I mean, looking back on my photos, I look different in every single picture over the years, you know?
And what is it? Everybody has like, do you have a good side? You're like, oh, get me from my good side.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, so your other side, you might look completely different.
Exactly.
And then you got angles, lighting, haircuts, facial hair. Like anything can make you look different, really. Even the way you might be mad that day, you know, you're all scrunched up.
And they say that a sketch is just an estimate, and it's not to represent exactly what that person looks like.
Yeah, it's not a photograph.
Yeah.
And think about it. She says curly hair, but maybe it was just a beanie on top of his head, you know. She's not supposed to remember.
Yeah. Thing is, he put himself on the bridge in those clothes. He admitted to it. He is BG.
How is it possible that BG's not the killer, though? Is that a thing? Could that be a thing?
I think it would be highly unlikely.
That's him, huh?
Yeah.
Richard Allen right there. with his scrunched up pants.
And I think the question is why? For me, why?
Yeah, I was thinking that this morning. I was like, what the hell? Why did he do that? Why would anybody do that? Oh, but there was a story I wanted to show you guys. Hold on. Oh, here it is.
The gruesome scene, the kitchen floor covered in blood. A knife was also.
Can you guys hear that? Miss Dog Lover, you can hear it? Let me check the chat.
Yep.
All right, sorry about that.
Yep, we can hear.
Okay, check out this story. It made me think of Richard Allen. You ask yourself, how could somebody do it? Well, I don't think you need a motivation. Check this story out here. Viewer discretion is advised.
The gruesome scene, the kitchen floor covered in blood. A knife was also found, but that's not all.
Court documents show the father has a history of mental illness. CBS News Miami's Anna McAllister joins us from the jail where that father remains tonight.
These documents provide disturbing details about 33-year-old Geronimo Duran. According to a custody court filing made just last year, Duran has a history of violent and erratic behavior. He's been Baker Acted multiple times, and he struggles with drug abuse. In the newly released 911 call from the gruesome murder of a 2-year-old girl in Pembroke Pines, you can hear the girl's great-grandmother desperately pleading for help.
La niña está creo que está sin conocimiento. Yo no sé qué le pasa, por favor. I think the girl is unconscious. I don't know what is going on.
According to Pembroke Pines police, 33-year-old Geronimo Duran picked up his 2-year-old daughter from her mom's house Tuesday morning. Police say he arrived at his grandmother's home where he lives on the 400 block of Southwest 177th Avenue in Pembroke Pines around 7:30 a.m. When his grandmother arrived at the home around 9:30, she made a horrifying discovery.
The girl is pale. She's not reacting.
According to the arrest report, the grandmother enters the residence and walks into the kitchen, seeing the defendant lying on top of the victim as they are facing each other face to face. The report then states the grandmother saw the girl bleeding, ran into another room, and called 911. As officers swarmed the home, the report states that a responding Pembroke Pines officer advised over the air that the child had a slit across her throat.
Despite all life-saving efforts, the 2-year-old unfortunately was deceased.
Okay, so the reason I wanted to show that video is, I mean, this is a father. He's obviously out of his mind. There's no way he would ever be motivated to do a crime like that. And he probably doesn't even have an explanation for it. Or what was her name? She thought her husband was the bridge guy. So she attempted to murder him and her son Maddox. She successfully killed him to spare him knowing that his father was the bridge guy. She was doing him a favor in her mind. Hey, what's up, Knockface? Having a stepdaughter. Heard this rumor today and not sure of the validity of it. Thanks. I don't know how he would have a stepdaughter. It's my understanding he was married to Kathy, I think a year or two after they graduated. So I don't know. That's the first I've heard of it. And I don't know if Kathy has any other kids, right? He has a niece whose middle name is Anne. I think her name actually might be Emily Ann, which is another connection, which is weird to Keegan Kline. What were you going to say, Miss Doglover?
Just a quick question before I go. So the trial is not going to be televised. Is that right?
I say yes. I say the only reason that the requests were denied before is because she knew that it was going to be delayed. There's no reason to approve anything when you know it's going to be delayed. And then I was right. It ended up being delayed. So I think once we get closer to the trial, she's going to probably select maybe 2 or 3 media outlets and give them permission to film in there. She's a huge advocate for it, and she fought for the defense's right to have cameras in there. But that's when they screwed up.
Yeah.
Like from the beginning, she was on their team. They said, "Hey, we want cameras in here. We want to show everybody how innocent Richard Allen is." She said, "Okay, cool, approved." Boom. And then that's when all hell broke loose. They didn't stop there. You know, you give an inch, they're going to take a mile. And that's what they did. But they didn't take a mile. They just kept taking and taking and taking and taking. It's almost like they wanted to get kicked off.
Yeah. And he wanted cameras, didn't he?
Yeah. Well, who knows what Richard Allen wants? I feel like his defense team is manipulating him, writing out the letters and writing out what he wants, and then he's signing it at the bottom. And then they've convinced him, like, this, trust me, this is in your best interest. But I really don't think he knows what's going on.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm going to go. Thanks for having
All
me
right.
on.
Thanks for calling in, Miss Dog Lover.
Yeah. Take care.
Take care. Bye.
Thanks. Bye.
Awesome. Good call. So I think I'm more interested in the real history of Richard Allen. You know, those who were closest to him, those who lived with him, know if he had if he ever had any outburst or suffered from delusions or you know, audible voices, things like that. Anna says, as I recall, there was a picture of Richard Allen with the brownish ski cap with the tiny bill knitted in it at eyebrow level. Yes. And this is the one everybody thinks he's most likely wearing. I'm just not sure. But I will show you that photo. Let's see. There's this one. And this one. And these are from the same day. So this is from the day he was flopping around like a fish. He just happened to take off his little black jacket. So here's a side view. And it does have a little bit of a brim on it. Yeah, that is true, Molly. Okay, now that makes a little more sense. Olivia, today I'm going with the plea deal. Yeah, I think right before the trial we'll have a plea deal. Or before, maybe much sooner. I just feel like the defense brought in some experts, some specialists to analyze the bullet, and they agreed with the prosecution. Excellent. With his fingers. Yeah, I'll probably do that one for Julia. She called in. I don't know what happened to her. There was like a lake in the background and everything. I got all excited. Maybe she got bad service or something right there. What's up, Jari? What's up, Frank? Let me try to zip on down. I'm getting Piper's Dream. Good to see you. Yeah, he's definitely got short legs. Yeah, Molly, the Levi's were good. 3430s. Yeah, there was only a couple that would hook you up. Wide hip, short legs. If you're going to be short, you don't want to be light in the ass. Very curious if there's been any development on one of his jailhouse confessions of molesting 2 individuals. Yeah, I wonder what is going on with that. Unless he's just attributing that to his charges with Abby and Libby. Maybe he's apologizing for that. Yeah, see, it is. I think I agree with you, Knockface. Because I've often said, and we've heard experts say the same thing, if Richard Allen is guilty of these crimes, it's likely he has other victims. Texas Rose, his wife gave him a black eye. I'd like to know too. I don't know. This is around the same time. Actually, no, this is more towards Christmas. That was, I think, after Christmas. Or no, I'm sorry. It was in November. This is closer to Christmas. Abby's grandma, what's up? Thank you for the super chat. Thank you too, Mandy. Thanks for sponsoring today's live stream. Appreciate you. Robin B, what's up? Hey, Mandy. Let's go to Robin's comment here. What if possible the trial happens before October 24? My thoughts only if the judge feels it is time to have justice for Abby and Libby. Well, it's already set. Originally, she had it set for the 14th. I think for 2 weeks. 4 weeks, maybe. I can't remember. And then she rescheduled it for the 15th of October and stretched it out because the defense was complaining. See, they're painting this picture. It's like they don't want to go to trial, guys. And I'm trying to explain it to you the best I can. Everything that they're doing tells me that they never want to step foot in that trial. Their game is pre-trial, whether that means tainting public opinion or shaking things up until something falls loose, right? But they will never step foot in that trial. I just know it. They'll never step foot in a trial. They can't. They haven't even been preparing for it. Everything they've done has a place in the public domain, like in social media and maybe tainting a future jury pool or something. But it's just completely ridiculous. What's up, Miranda? Shadowbox, Mandy. Yeah, I mean, if it does go to trial, I don't know. I just feel like that'll be his last stand. That'll be him in control. I'm sparing my family. I'm sparing the victims the heartache of a trial. I did this, you know what I mean? But really, he's just ready to get into a routine. He's past the suicide and self-harm. I think he's over all that. The shame, the realization. Now reality's starting to set in, and He's ready to face the music. Christine, it's him. There's a wheelchair going down the hill. His eyes that stare, so creepy. I mean, he definitely matches the bridge guy better than anybody. By far. And then the voice is a complete match. And then he says he was there that day around the time. And the witnesses say that the guy they saw, he says he saw the girls as well. And the guy they saw, they say is the guy that was on the bridge. And then they found his bullet at the crime scene. I mean, come on, guys. I mean, we're looking at a guilty man. Guilty as sin. But Miss Doglover was right. Why? Why did he do it? Texas Rose. I don't think so. I think he does look like him, but I don't think he fits the body. Like some of the comparisons are really close. But then again, I believe he had a beard. But we can't really say, right? With the Bridge Guy video, how the hell do we know? Maybe we're looking at a beard. That's the problem. The important thing about the Bridge Guy video and why Libby was really her own hero is because the witnesses were able to say, hey, the guy we saw is the guy on the bridge or the guy that's in that video. Without that video, they can't connect the two. So it really doesn't matter what they describe. As long as they can say, yeah, the guy that passed us, that's him right there in Libby's video. And Richard Allen said, well, I passed those girls right around 1:30. So if he's passing the girls and the girls are saying the guy they passed is the guy on the bridge, boom, there you have it. Hey, what's up, Rob? This is from Rob. I think Richard Allen believes in his attorneys. So if his attorneys gives him an ultimatum to not make a deal, I don't think he's going to make a deal with the prosecutor. I think he's going to trial. I don't think so. Because if he goes to trial, he's facing the death penalty. The video I saw said that 3 detectives said they were sure Brad Holder, Patrick Westfall, Elvis Fields were the suspects. Interesting. It could be that technically the BG isn't the killer. Well, he's definitely one of the killers. Because if you participate in a kidnapping that leads to a murder, you're definitely one of the killers. I think the question is, what's your role in that murder? Daily Survivor. You need to read Roy Hazelwood. Dark Dreams. All right, I'll check it out. I need a new book. Yeah, V, and that's another thing that I'm concerned with. How is Richard Allen going to get a fair trial if his attorneys are doing all this weird shit? And everybody's still rooting for him. I just feel like if they even cared about Richard Allen, they wouldn't want this to happen. They would want him where he's at, you know, in the prison where they're taking care of him. They're not protecting him from anybody other than himself. That's it. What's up, Nana's Gmail? Yep, all is well. I hope all is well with you also. What's up, Periwinkle? So let's zip on down. Thanks, Mandy. Oh, there's Daisy. What you up to, Daisy? All right, let's try to get through these comments. Criminality's in the house. Good to see you. Welcome on in. And one thing we have to learn is not to hang on to every word of law enforcement, right? With the tentacles and complex case and one day I'm going to be able to tell you. Those are just code words for shit. I wish I knew. I wish I knew. Translation, I don't know. And I really think Doug Carter is like, well, I wish one day I can tell you. I hope one day I can tell you. He's not saying that he hopes one day he can tell us. He really hopes that. One day he hopes he can find out and then tell us. We always sit here like, oh, let's wait on the experts. But they're clocking in and they're clocking out. And time is just ticking. There's nobody to blame. We just need to do better as a society. RE, the molestation confession, I think he's muddying up the waters on purpose so his other confessions don't carry any weight and he appears nuts. Yeah, that is a strategy. That's something that came to mind when he talked about shooting them. I think one of the confessions he says, oh, I feel bad for shooting those girls in the back, knowing damn well that they weren't shot, right? That's him saying, oh, I don't know anything about the crime scene. But we've already learned that if Richard Allen is the killer, he's the guy that went and talked to Dan Doolin, this, and that. He's just a proactive killer. He knows that if he's not proactive and they catch on to him, then they're going to have reasonable doubt. And I believe they were never able to get a search warrant because he admitted to everything. Yeah, I was there. Yeah, I saw those other girls, but I didn't see Abby and Libby. Right? Now, if he kept quiet about it, and through the investigation, they found out, oh, there's this guy, Richard Allen, that was there. He matches the description. I think that's enough for us to get a search warrant. He was there at the time. He matches our description. But try taking it to the judge, right? When the judge is like, okay, well, did you try talking with him? Yeah. What did he say? Well, he actually called us. Oh, he did? Yeah, and then we met with him. Well, what did he say? He said he was there around the time and he was, he saw the other three girls that were there shortly before Abby and Libby. Well, you have nothing. He's admitted to it all. Yeah, that's a tough question, Olivia. It's a tough question, especially with shit like this. Makes you wonder, right? Like this is going on Thanksgiving, right before the girls are murdered. You got this fool wearing the blue jacket, his pants all bunched up at the bottom. And you knew he was at the trails that day. You've been watching him all the end of 2016 wearing this blue jacket. And he loves going, well, according to the defense memo, he frequented the Monon High Bridge Trail. So you know he frequents the trail. You obviously weren't around that day, but you knew he was there, possibly at the trails. So that makes it tough. But also, I'm going to give her some credit, and I'm also going to give Dan Doolin credit because hindsight is 20/20. I don't care what anybody says. And Richard Allen could be a real life monster, somebody who has sharpened his tool of manipulation. Over the years, he just keeps sharpening it. So even his wife may not know what he was up to. And law enforcement gave them all they needed for plausible deniability. Oh, well, this is no longer the guy. This guy's no longer a suspect. Well, if Richard Allen is the person that they thought, oh shit, he might be the actual killer. Well, they don't think that anymore because now they're looking for a younger person, and that guy, Old Bridge guy, is no longer a suspect. Well, Old Bridge guy was supposedly Richard Allen. Plausible deniability. Thanks, Farmer. Yeah, if you guys want to support the channel, there you go. I agree with that, Texas. So many men do not need to be around children. And I don't know if it was always like that. I remember when I was young, like we could look up to the coaches, the PE teacher, the neighbors. Like I just feel like all the men were men. They weren't petters, you know what I mean? Maybe they were. Maybe we were just naive. And it's not just men, it's adults. Women are just as bad when it comes to this kind of stuff, unfortunately. They're just it's easier for them to hide in plain sight. And it's harder for men to be a victim of that kind of stuff. A lot of men and boys suffer in silence. So really, as parents, we need to listen to these sex offenders who have come forward. They know what they did was wrong, and they're trying to help. They're trying to educate us. They tell us they look for weak parents. They look for drug addicted parents. They look for fathers who are weak, who do not intimidate them. They're telling us what they're looking for. They have a checklist. Yeah, Kiwi, why the hell would he do that? Why would anybody kill two girls in the middle of the day? To me, mental health fits in there. Drug abuse, mental health, revenge. But even the talk of this whole Shill Miller, I mean, what if he was catfished by like a Keegan Kline or something like, dude, we're going to give you all this money. They were grooming him for months. There's no evidence of that. I'm just saying, what the hell would, I just can't explain it. I don't understand how you can just say, I'm going to the Monon High Bridge Trail today. I'm going to wear a disguise and I'm going to try to sexually assault and kill somebody. Like, I just don't see that. I'm going to go pray on the Monon High Bridge Trail today. It just doesn't fit with me. The timing of it all. I just feel like those girls were targeted. And them specifically, because you're right on them. If these are not your targets, you don't say, oh, well, I'm just going to go ahead and kill these girls anyway. No, you're pissed off about something. You're highly motivated by something. Oh, we have Julia back. Let me add her onto. Hey, Julia, what's up?
Hi. Sorry about
How
that.
you doing?
My internet was like going crazy.
Oh, you're at my favorite place, my favorite resort.
It's my favorite place.
Yeah.
It's actually crazy. Like this view right here. Okay, anybody who doesn't know it, it's not going to mean much to them, but it's amazing. Coeur d'Alene. Recommend 10 out of 10.
Yeah, that's my favorite resort right there. We stayed there 3 years in a row.
It's yeah, you were saying that. No, it's beautiful here. I've grown up coming here. Okay, sorry. Anyways, I could talk about it all day, but I'm not gonna.
Yeah, you're probably feeling good right now up
I'm
there.
feeling great. It just puts you in a great mood, like just
Oh,
coming
yeah.
down. What was I gonna say? So I did miss some of most like the last probably 15 minutes, I want to say 15-20 minutes. And I had a thought. I just wanted to call back because I had something and it's escaping my mind right now, honestly. But what were you talking about like most recently? I'm sure
Well, we were talking earlier about just him wearing that blue coat 2016. Also the fact that it looks like Kathy like deleted a lot of stuff from her Facebook. Like there's nothing of Rick Allen after the murders up until like the end of
Okay.
2018. But really
Did
just
she
that kind of
delete
stuff.
it, or was it just never there?
I don't know.
I guess either way is kind of, raises eyebrows, to be honest.
And where's his Facebook?
Did he ever have one?
I don't know for sure.
we
I've heard a lot of rumors. I've had people send me screenshots saying,
Okay.
"Oh, this is from Richard Allen," but I don't know.
Interesting. Yeah, I'm very skeptical when it comes to something like that. I need to see it for myself, my own
Yeah,
two.
me too.
So, could be, could not be, but who knows? What was I gonna say? But I mean, I think the biggest thing for me with Richard Allen or Bridge Guy, whatever, same thing in my opinion. If not him, then who else? Like he was there. Like who else? Like from the phone dump. Like unless, I mean, let's just say there was some transient or whoever going along and just turned off their phone or had a burner or whatever. Not likely. That would be like the only like other option in my eyes. I don't know, but I still can't get past the fact that they did not figure out about him until like these recent years. What was it, like 2 years ago in October he got arrested?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I mean, is it, I guess this case is like the first high profile like true crime case that I've like followed start to finish. So I don't know exactly what is or is not normal. But I remember like them saying like Dan Doolin was the DNR officer that took the statement. How does that just slip through the cracks? I mean, like, how does that not stick out? Like, was it just lost completely, forgotten completely? I don't.
I say Richard Allen. My answer is Richard Allen.
What do you mean?
I think he purposely provided misinformation that was attached to some of his real information, like the Whiteman Drive. I think he may have even told Dan Doolin that his name was Richard Allen Whiteman.
Okay.
Knowing that later on he can say, "Oh, well, you confused it because I live on Whiteman Drive."
Okay. And was that, I mean, like if that interview was recorded, I don't see why it would be if he himself came forward. I don't see why they would necessarily have to like record
And
it.
if he's not a suspect, it's not
Yeah.
evidence. It's kind of like people are when they talk about losing Brad Holder and Levi Holder's interviews and things like that. They say, "Well, how can they lose all this crazy evidence?" Well, they didn't lose evidence. They lost something that they didn't consider evidence. It's easier to do that, and I think Richard Allen plays a big part in why he went unnoticed. I think it's easy to overlook him.
Sorry. Yes. Yeah, no, like he really is not like a standout. I don't know, like he's not somebody you would suspect if like you didn't know if he was never arrested, you wouldn't be like, yeah, that guy has some shady shit going on. Like just based on what I've seen from him, like kind of like in the shadows, not really, just like a bit of a recluse, or he doesn't seem that he had a lot of friends.
Like a hermit almost.
Yeah, kinda. Yeah. I mean,
Well,
like,
he's fantasy driven. I think he was like awkward when he stands in a group. I think he, as a kid, he just always knew he was different. Maybe.
yeah, I think that I've done a lot of thinking about like the psychology about it, and that makes a lot of sense. The more I kind of like match up those traits to him, like, like you get so pent up and then you just snap for whatever reason. But what I guess one other thing, like one big question is, And I mean, I'm prepared to be proven wrong, but I'm so like convinced that he knew they were going to be there that day, Abby
Me
and Lynn.
too.
And
I wish I could prove it, but
I know, same. But I don't know how, and that's the thing. Just because it doesn't seem likely that he was just like randomly going there. I mean, yeah, there were a lot of other girl or like kids there that day. I mean, but they were all spread out, and like the timing is also like very suspicious. Like I like in my gut, I feel like he knew that Abby and Libby were going to be there somehow, some way, and I don't know how. And that's kind of like what, I don't know, like one thing that I've never, at least this far, let go of. But I'm prepared to, if obviously I'm proven
yeah, and
wrong.
it doesn't matter to me whether
Yeah.
it's
No,
drug
say
related.
it.
It
Yeah,
could be
I don't.
drug related. It could be ritualistic. He could be part of that.
Yeah,
He could have some kind of vendetta of his own. He could have been hired to as a hit for whatever reason.
yeah.
Whatever the case is, um, I believe, yeah, he knew that they were there and they were the target.
I agree completely on that. But again, I'm prepared to be proven wrong, and whatever the truth is, that's all I want to come out. I don't care about what I think.
Kitty has a good comment here, and I
Okay.
think it goes with what we were saying. I think Richard Allen is in a spiritual war. He speaks of his concerns of what people think in his interrogation. I agree with that. What people think of his wife and him. The only reason he hasn't come forward to the courts yet, he will. I agree with that. I think this is all a spiritual battle, and anybody that does evil, they've succumbed to that evil. But there's always retribution, and I think he's going to realize that he doesn't need the death penalty. He'll admit to what he did, who was involved. I think you hit it right on the head, Kitty. What do you think, Julia?
Yeah. I think, yeah, no, I mean, that sounds very, it could be very accurate. Like sociopaths and psychopaths are two very different people. I think Richard Allen is a psychopath.
You think he's two different people, one with his family, and then when he's alone, he's something else, or
Yeah,
in his
Jekyll
head,
and
he's something
Hyde.
else?
Yeah, stuff like
Yeah,
that.
I get the Jekyll and Hyde vibe too.
No, so sociopaths, like from my understanding, I'm no expert by any means. They're not born, they're made. Like they become hardened, and then psychopaths, they're just born that way. Like that their
Like a
brain
Ted
is,
Bundy.
yeah, like their brain is wired in a totally different way that like you can't understand. Not even like they can't even understand it
I wonder
themselves.
if his mother and his adopted father can speak to that. I wonder if there was any trauma there.
That'd be very interesting. Yeah, I don't know, but I do think that he gosh, I don't know. It's so hard without, I mean, these days without like a social media presence to really like get to know him or get to know his, his
Yeah, he needs to
MO.
talk. If he needs to talk, and then we'll know.
Yeah, I mean, I hope so. I think everybody deserves answers. I mean, everybody that's, I mean, first of all, first and foremost, the families. Um,
They gotta wonder why, right?
yeah, of course. I mean, I wonder why I'm an outsider. Like if it was like my loved one, I don't know how they're holding up. It's just God.
It's just like I just don't think that they're gonna like the answer. I don't think the answer
I
is
don't
ever
think there's
good
no,
because
I
there's
don't think
never a reason why. There's no reason why.
there's no good reason why, but there's
Yeah,
always a reason, like to
yeah,
some,
exactly.
you know. Like whether it be valid or not, which obviously in this case there's no way anybody could have a valid reason
Yeah,
for
it's gonna be like you
brutally
did it for
murdering.
that.
Yeah.
You
Oh
did
my
this
God.
over that. Like, oh, this
Yeah.
is gonna be so frustrating. I think.
God, I can't. I'm frustrated for them, so I can't even imagine how they're dealing with it. But I mean, they seem to be doing, I mean, great given the circumstances. Sorry, I'm trying to remember my thought. What was I gonna say?
What's your opinion on the plea? Are we going to see a plea deal, or is he going to drag this out?
I think if he's a smart man, he's gonna plea, or if he's gonna make a smart decision, he's gonna plea. Yeah, I mean, I just hope answers are provided to the families, to the community, and then we can just I mean, you'll never sweep this under the rug. Obviously, that's a bad phrase to use, but just I guess some sense of closure, like the best that they can do is do. Yeah. What do you think?
I don't know, honestly.
Yeah.
But I know that 44 under is wrong here with this. He says if never talked to that Parks guy, he's talking about Doolin, we would still be talking about Keegan Kline and his old man.
Oh, I'm still thinking. I think Klein's are. I think there's a connection there. I mean,
I think he's wrong about that part, though. I think he's
Really?
wrong. I think that if he would not have spoken to Dan Doolin, they would have found out that he was on the trail, and then they would have been able to search his home, knowing that he concealed that and kept that from everybody.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. Okay.
So the only reason they didn't consider him a suspect is because of his proactive behavior. Very smart.
But how many other people were there that day that were also proactive? Like the Webbers or Brad Weber, Ron Logan, like what other males do you recall? Anybody?
As far as being there, that could be considered a suspect
during that time. Yeah.
Oh, there's a whole handful of people that haven't been mentioned publicly.
Okay.
Inquisitor recently he looks like he's going to do a slow release of all those names.
Oh.
But he recently dropped a name of somebody that was there. He was talked about in a lot of Facebook groups.
Okay.
And he was mentioned in the Lost documentary as somebody that was there shortly before Richard Allen.
Okay. I think I know who you're talking about. That's kind of skeevy to put that out there.
A little bit, but you always want to be the guy who's putting out all the information.
Yeah, I guess.
I know everything,
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I can't get past the fact that if it's, I mean, to be fair, we didn't know about Richard Allen until right now. Sorry. We didn't know about him until just October 2022. So it's very possible that there are other people that I'm not saying are the bridge guy, because I definitely think Richard Allen is, but
he might not be.
What?
He might not be and still be involved.
Yeah, absolutely. But I don't think that's the case. But yeah,
no, either do I.
He might not be. Who knows?
But I get your point. You're saying if we didn't know about Richard Allen, what about the other two that might have been running around with him?
Right, exactly. That getaway driver. That's what I keep coming back to. I feel like there had to be I'm not convinced that Richard Allen is the muddy and bloody guy, or just muddy, whatever. I'm kind of 50-50 on that, because the witness statement was just so kind of, I don't know, it was like somebody driving by a person that was muddy and bloody at a certain time. And yeah, I don't know. I don't subscribe to that one. I don't subscribe to any of this, but that one is just kind of maybe not.
Well, what about what we said earlier about predators and how they have a checklist and they were stalking? 44 under says, what's wrong with Richard Allen following the girls from a burner phone? And then Miss Dog Lover says he was stalking the girls. Do you think he was looking at the girls and saying, well, I know their parents, I go to the bar and Abby's mom's there. She's always busy. Maybe he's looking at them and he's judging them and he's thinking that I can prey on these girls because of who their parents are.
What do you mean?
Like she's a single mother. She's constantly working and
oh, okay.
And Abby's, at home, being cared for by other people. And then you have Libby, who is coming from kind of a broken home. Her parents are, struggling with drug addiction and stuff like that, and she's staying with the Patties right now legally. So I'm
Yeah.
wondering if Richard Allen kind of was sitting back and saw that, and then decided to target them, and then began targeting them online, possibly.
Yeah. I mean, it's yes. I think definitely I agree with you in the sense that like they were for sure targeted. Like specifically Abby and Libby or Abby and or Libby. And I think that I like how you brought up that, like, I think Libby's been on the forefront ever since that whole Anthony Shots thing came out, but how you kind of like played devil's advocate with that and like looked into like what if it's Abby and kind of like went down that way, because I
Mhm.
think that's just as feasible. Um, but I don't. I mean, Abby didn't really have a whole lot of social media other than like she borrowed like an iPad or something, and then she got a Kindle Fire, and I think she was like accessing people from there. Um, but I think it's yeah, I don't know. I think it's just as likely that Abby was the target, but it's also kind of like how did they find her? And I think um
What'd you think about the theory, the whole Nebergall theory, where he was arrested October of 2016 for providing alcohol to minors, and one of those minors that got arrested for minor consumption was Kyle Smith.
I don't remember that one. Can you?
Well, if you look up police calls and police reports in Delphi and the
Okay.
Carroll Comet,
Okay.
it might not be in the Carroll Comet, but you can look it up online.
Okay.
October of 2016, Richard Allen's best pal, Tony Nebergall, was arrested at a party with Kyle Smith. Kyle Smith is a friend of Libby's.
Hmm.
And so if you got this 55-year-old man partying with an 18-year-old kid who's friends with Libby, that could potentially have been some kind of a connection. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. And okay. No, I see that. And it's not that outlandish to think that could be possible. So for example, this is super random. I don't know why it popped in my head, but I was so I'm on vacation right now, and me and my best friend were just down at just the hotel bar, like super safe area and stuff, and there was this these golf, like a I don't team, I don't know golf, but there was this a bunch of guys who were just like, I would say about 15 of them, and like I think the youngest was about 23. Most of them were probably like my age, like 30, 35ish. And then the oldest one was probably like 50. And so we were down there with my dog, and they all wanted to like pet my dog and stuff, and so we just like were hanging out with them. And so they like my friend who like wants to be a chef, she was like talking to this 50-year-old man who was a chef, and like totally innocent and everything like that, but it was just kind of like it's not that I don't know, crazy to believe that you can make connections or like get introduced to somebody who is completely out of your age range. And I kind of forgot that um until recently, I guess.
Well, that's why I take myself back to when I was 13, 14. We would always we'd be partying with all age groups.
Yeah.
And I remember there would be older people at some of these parties.
Yeah.
Whether it was their home or whether you were friends with, like me, I have an older sister and a younger brother.
Okay.
So we all kind of shared each other's friends. We all had
Yeah.
and some were a lot older and some were a lot younger. But yeah, I believe that it would be easy for somebody to bring the wolf or the fox into the hen house, as a friend, as a pal. And And then he kind of starts having a conversation over here on the side with this young lady, you know, that he shouldn't be having, gets a phone number or just begins to target her maybe.
Yeah, especially if like drugs or alcohol are involved. I'm not speaking ill to Abby or Libby, but if you know, I mean, kids will be kids. We were all kids at some point, and so like if you know you're experimenting in you know when you're 14, and
Yeah, even alcohol, you need an adult to do that for you, to get that for you.
exactly, yeah, exactly. And so if you like if you see this cool older guy and you're like, oh, maybe if I like am really like nice and kind of flirt with him a little bit and like he'll give me weed or alcohol. I'm not saying that's what happened, but I'm saying
Kids are kids. I mean, we were all
yeah,
kids.
I've done that as an adult.
Yeah, not that they're doing
Yeah,
it. I'm just saying it's possible. We're just
right,
saying it.
exactly. It's just like there's so many possibilities out there, and that's something you have to consider.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Any final thoughts before we get out of here, Julia?
No, I'm gonna shoot you an email. Is your power back on and everything?
Yeah, we're good to go.
Okay.
Hopefully it doesn't shut off again tomorrow. Seems like the same time of day.
That's inconvenience. Okay, I'll shoot you an email and then yeah, thank you for taking my call. Sorry,
Thanks for calling in.
but all right.
Hey, you be safe out there. Have fun. Oh, did I lose you? Oh yeah, I think I lost her. Well, thanks, Julia. And I'll look forward to your email and talking with you about the Koberger case since you're going to be out there. I think she plans to do some coverage out there, and I want to try to link up. All right, guys, this will be our 5-minute warning. We'll hang out in the chat. Welcome in, Diana. I saw you come in. Sorry, there's a couple more here. Nana, Kitty, Vic. Good to see you guys. Support with Stefa. Welcome in. And everybody else that I missed. But that's pretty much going to conclude today's live stream. If anybody wants to get a hold of me, sleuthintuition@gmail.com or sleuthintuition@gmail.com. Either way. You got it, Mustang. And thanks for calling back, Julia. Miss Dog Lover, thank you guys for calling in. Nana, you're welcome. Hey, Sylvia. Good to see you. Thanks for dropping a comment. It's always good to see you. I think Phil Bond was in here earlier, too. If you're not in here still, Phil, shout out to you if you come back as part of the replay crew. But I think that is going to do it, guys. We'll go ahead and play the outro. And I'll see you guys in the comment section. Have a great night. Thank you for watching the Sleuth Intuition channel. If you are part of the replay crew, you know what to do. Drop a comment and let me know what you think. Don't forget to like and subscribe and hit the bell icon to stay in the loop. Sleuth Intuition is 100% crowdfunded. If you want to support me and help my channel grow, here are 3 ways that you can help. Number 1, Cash App. The funds go directly to me without YouTube taking a percentage. Number 2, become a member. Members are by far the leading contributors to my channel. Number 3, hit up the merch shop. Represent the Sleuth crew on these ruthless streets. I want to thank everybody for tuning in to the Sleuth Intuition channel. I'm your host, Patrick Vallejos. Until next time, peace.